Alright, so hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Zodiac Signs as a Student series. Okay, so first and foremost, I just want to say here that yeah, I am not wearing any makeup today. I'm just really mentioning this because I got a bit of sun yesterday, and so it's definitely bringing out a lot of my freckles, and also the pigment in my skin has definitely improved. I'm a lot more pinkish rosy than what I was last year, but yeah, I'm starting to really get more comfortable with not wearing makeup. But I just wanted to mention that because I know that others mentioned it in another video, and I'm not trying to make a statement or anything. It's literally just that that's what I want to do and it feels good. But anyway, so into today's video, we're going to be talking about the Sagittarius student by talking about 3 school subjects that I personally think can be associated with the sign of Sagittarius. Now, I would like to mention that this video can resonate for you if you have any personal planets within the sign of Sagittarius, but it is mostly directed towards those of you who have your Mercury in Sagittarius, or if you have the sign of Sagittarius ruling your 3rd house. Now, furthermore, I would also like to mention that even if you're not a student anymore, even if you're not at school, I still recommend watching this video, because these things that I'm going to talk about today can be associated within your everyday life as well. Now, before we do get started, however, if you would like to know more information all about Gemini through the houses, as well as the Mercury signs, the Mercury houses, and the 3rd house within astrology, then I have created a Gemini season / Gemini archetype ebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today. So with all those introductions out of the way, Mercury in Sagittarius / Sagittarius ruling the 3rd house. Let's do this. Okay, so the first subject that I chose for you, Sagittarius, is geography. Yes, I know that this one was gotta be pretty obvious. I mean, hello, Sagittarius is the sign that rules over long distance travel within astrology, and of course expanding your horizons and so on and so forth. However, geography isn't just it's not just a subject that involves looking at maps and discovering what the capital of France is, or discovering what the capital of Switzerland is. See, geography involves a whole lot of interesting areas to cover, such as climate issues, weather patterns, landforms, soils, and water usage. Plus, geography can also be split into a few different categories. So we have the likes of physical geography and human geography. That way, Sagittarius, you will be kept engaged, because we all know how restless you can be when it comes to learning. So through physical geography, you can learn about the likes of hazards and coastal systems and landscapes. And through the likes of human geography, you can learn about population and the environment, as well as globalization and transportation. Basically, there are many things that you can discover and explore when you do study geography, Sagittarius. Things that when they make sense and they click in place, you have these aha moments, and it's these aha moments that you just might live for. You might get so excited and enthusiastic whenever you do learn a piece of information that just makes it click into place, because these types of things just expand your mind just a little bit more each and every time they happen. And let's not forget about the different field trips that you can also go on through this study, where you perform investigations. Furthermore, geography is one of those subjects that involves and requires a lot of flexibility and openness of the mind in dealing with a range of different conceptual paradigms. And this study will also require an understanding and an application of scientific logic, principles, methods, and research. Now, I put this emphasis on application because you are a sign that is very much connected with first-hand experience. You just might possess a very "I'll believe it when I see it" type of attitude, and what better way to learn than actually applying your knowledge. See, whilst you're a sign that is represented with religion and spiritual growth and idealism, there is also a very grounded human side to you that seeks to be in nature and to explore the world around you. And it is pretty interesting that you do represent the super conscious mind, but you too, just like Gemini and the other mutable signs, Virgo and Pisces, you are also dual by nature as well. Therefore, Sagittarius, it is the study of geography that can enhance your awareness of an increasingly connected world. You can grow to understand and appreciate the value of different cultures and perspectives, whilst also reading, analysing and constructing maps for a variety of purposes and audiences. Okay, so some things to learn here though. Well, there is a tendency, Sagittarius, of you coming across as this know-it-all or as this preachy type of person. For example, you might believe that your bigger picture vision is the most righteous and is the most justifiable way forward for everybody. You might even call on others to open their minds, to stretch their minds, to expand their minds, yes, or to even just open themselves up to new beliefs and theories that extend past their current beliefs and theories. But yet, it's this type of attitude that might create a bit of a friction between you and others, where there's a bit of a miscommunication, misunderstanding, because others can't quite see your bigger vision. And they also might not understand the higher meaning or the higher purpose behind what you're saying or behind the knowledge that you're sharing. See, you tend to think in more abstract ways, and you can't stand when others lie to themselves or aren't being upfront with their real intentions or with their real thoughts. But as you ask the bigger picture questions, it might make those who aren't really on the same wavelength as you, it might make them seem a bit closed-minded, or it might make it seem like these people are misinformed. And I think that it's a good idea for you to be aware of this, Sagittarius, because I think by you being aware of this, you can maybe cut others a little bit of slack from time to time. See, I know that you're open and you're honest and you're very frank, you're that type of communicator, but your teaching of the truth can still leave others feeling a little bit uninspired, possibly resulting in them just switching off and not really wanting to listen to you. The second subject I chose then for you, Sagittarius, is religious education. So I actually chose this subject for Scorpio as well, but for you I chose this subject because, for one, stereotypical religion, you know, you rule over religion, and two, well, religious education, or RE, is one of those subjects that can help you really identify the bigger picture. I mean, religion is something that many people identify themselves with being. So, you know, people would say, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Protestant, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist. These labels that really give humanity hope. These labels that give humanity something to believe in, something to help them really feel like they have a meaning, rather than life just feeling like a collection of just random events that have zero connections. But you see, whether or not you are religious yourself, Sagittarius, it is through studying the likes of religious education that can get you inspired by people. It can get you inspired by history. It can get you seeking answers to your bigger questions. And it can also help you understand the influences that religion has on the world. You can discover the diversities of culture as well as what the future holds through the likes of studying RE. Plus, you can also discover the ways in which religion inspires people to take action within their local and their global communities, as well as the impacts that religion has in the decision-making process of individuals and communities as well. Let's not forget, RE can also help you learn about the likes of freedom of speech, freedom of movement, can help you learn about sacred laws, can help you learn about human civil rights, and also liberation. All of these things might greatly interest you, Sagittarius. So when it comes to RE, it can be a highly explorative subject that opens you up to the world around you. Furthermore, religious education can also highlight and talk about morality and ethics, and it's you that rules over these things within astrology. For example, is it morally right to abort an unborn child or an embryo? Is it morally right to feed a baby a vegan or plant-based diet? Is it morally right to put an older person to sleep whose brain is no longer functioning? And it's these types of questions that can actually lead into debates. And debates can get you riled up and very passionate, Sagittarius. Ultimately, Sagittarius, you can provide your many profound insights and use your critical thinking skills by studying religious education. Some things to learn here though, well, there is a tendency of you going a bit overboard with things. You might be a bit exaggerative in how you communicate, so you might take debates a little bit too far sometimes. For example, you can come across as this unemotional or as not very sensitive towards other people's feelings whenever you are having a debate, or just in general when you're having a discussion with somebody, because you know what you know and I'm gonna say it. Now, it's not that you have to or that you should be sensitive towards other people's feelings, but sometimes, in some cases, your eagerness can just lead to you blurting some things out, which can then put you into a relatively sticky situation. Not that you would overly care though. Though it might actually come in good use here to learn how to be a little bit more tactful, Sagittarius. And by you showing or applying a little bit of tact towards the information or the knowledge that you share, you can show more understanding and consideration towards others. And by doing so, you can have an open conversation, an open discussion, where you're seen more as a wise and intelligent person rather than as this wild stallion who simply doesn't have time to listen to other people's opinions. Alright, so the third and final subject that I chose is philosophy. Now, with this being said, yes, philosophy most likely will be a subject that you actually go on to study at university or college, which, by the way, if you have Sagittarius ruling your 9th house, you might resonate with this. Which I also just want to mention, I have, well, my best friend, he has an Aries rising and he has Sagittarius on his 9th house, and he studied philosophy at university. But still, regardless if you study it at university or regardless if you study it at all, well, philosophy can also be used within your everyday life as well. For example, why do we eat the things we eat? Why do we work the way we do? Why do we go to the places we go to? Basically, it's questioning the ideas that underlie our most basic activities. Philosophy can also make you very much aware of your ethics. So going back to ethics and morals, so really looking at the code of values, which can help you be guided towards creating certain choices or making certain decisions or taking certain actions. And by you developing your own personal philosophy, you can use it as a guiding tool rather than floating around feeling a bit directionless, where you just wander, you know. But hey, you're Sagittarius, you are known to be a wanderlust type of person. So the question here is then, what is your personal philosophy, Sagittarius? And do your actions and your choices align with your personal philosophy? Though still, by you actually studying philosophy, your intellectual and communication skills, they can certainly enhance. So for example, when it comes to your analytical thinking skills, you can identify assumptions and formulate alternatives. And this can help you when it comes to making decisions, where you can analyze many different options and consider their differences and their similarities. And when it comes to your communication skills, well, it's through the likes of studying philosophy that you can be encouraged then to express yourself without infringing on other people's rights. Furthermore, philosophy can encourage you to outline your ideas and your principles more effectively, and you can be rather scattered. So these things can certainly help you with your scattered mind. Plus, you can also use your argumentative skills for logical reasoning, where you begin with a strong premise and you end with a really solid conclusion as well. Another thing to mention though is that philosophy can actually open you up to a variety of career opportunities too. So the likes of teaching, journalism, publishing and law, and all of these career choices that I just mentioned are very much connected with your sign, Sagittarius. Ultimately, Sagittarius, philosophy is a subject that can encourage you to never stop expanding your knowledge. Some things to learn here, well, there is a tendency, like I said, there is a tendency of you being scattered in your thought processes. You might also bite off more than you can chew, and it's these things that might even result in you aiming for unrealistic objectives, or can result in you aimlessly just wasting energy, wasting time, possibly wasting resources. Therefore, it would be a good idea to assess the ways in which you set limits for yourself. Yes, you might not like rules and regulations and you want to be this free bird, but by forming or developing sensible limits, it wouldn't feel like you're just trying to cram everything in, where you're maybe not aware of just how much you're going overboard with the amount of information. After all, you can be rather excessive and overindulgent in your learning style. So naturally, by you applying moderation towards what you're learning, you might actually find that you can become less scattered and you can also retain the information better as well. So it's just really being aware of your own limits here, because you, like all humans, you have limits that are beneficial for your overall health and well-being. It's great that you're idealistic and that you seek to know more, but it's also good to switch off from time to time and to be realistic with the information that you're learning as well. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the Sagittarius student. Now, if you happen to have your Mercury in Sagittarius or Sagittarius ruling your third house, then it would be good to hear what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. So with all that being said then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click the subscribe button, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!